What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, welcome. My name is Josh, and I am a student nurse in an accelerated BSN program at Rasmussen College in Fort Myers, Florida. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about how I use Picmonic to study. So let's jump right into it. All right, so the way I use Picmonic to study is based on the assigned readings. I take those chapters and I read the chapters, or I kind of speed read them as fast as I can and get the main concepts out of them. I'm not somebody who takes notes, so I don't write anything down. So I read the chapters and then I go back and I try to find the concepts that match up with that chapter in Picmonic, and I watch those Picmonics, and I'll watch the educational part, and then I'll do the quizzes, and then I do the daily quizzes every single day. I try to do all of the quiz questions that are available to me that day. Sometimes most of the time I get to them. Sometimes I don't. But I think I have like a 130 something day streak going on the daily quizzes, and I feel like that's really helped me. And I'll explain why here in a second. All right. So 133 day streak. So as I said, I read my book, and we have ebooks, so that makes it a little bit easier, I think. And then I find the concept, so whatever the concept may be. Right now we have mom baby coming up next quarter, so I'm going to go into obstetrics here, and what's one that so signs of pregnancy. I come in here, I watch the video, and I take my quiz, if it'll load here. It's being really slow. Okay, here we go. So I go ahead and I hit play. I watch the video. Sometimes I'll replay it if there's a lot of information on that particular video. Here, there's only 6 key points, so I'd probably just watch it one time through and then take my quiz. Okay, and then we're gonna go home. What I like to do is, as I'm taking the quiz, I read the rationales, and I feel like that's the biggest thing. That's what's most important, is going through and reading the rationales, because when you listen to the Picmonic, it gives you the key points, but it doesn't always explain the full rationale. And sometimes there's some information in the rationale that's not necessarily covered in the Picmonic itself, but has to relate to maybe signs and symptoms, expected findings, or associated diseases or illnesses with that particular disorder or condition. So then I go through and I do my quiz. I usually do 20 questions at a time. So this is you're going to see that it says 10, but that's because I already did 10, so we could keep this a little bit shorter. So I read the question. Sometimes I can answer it without really looking at the Picmonic itself, but in this case, we'll go ahead and read it. Which of the following is most useful for achieving glycemic goals? And then it's going to be, okay, and then the whole picture will show up. And then what I'll do is I'll read this rationale. And I think it's very important that you read this every time you take the quiz. If you're reading these rationales every time you take the quiz, it's really going to stick in your mind. And doing this helped me prepare this quarter for my final exams and clinical. I think it's made a huge difference in my clinical practice, because then I'm able to recall information better, and I think it helps me to make some connections as well. And then ATI. So we took a chronic ATI this quarter, and I didn't really have to study extra for it because I've already been studying a bunch of med surg, and just reading these rationales, it helped me to pass it with. It technically was a level 2. It's just a practice ATI for us. It's not the official med surg ATI, but I feel like if I just keep doing this, I'll pass the main ATI, the main med surg ATI, no problem, without having to study for it, because I'll already have been doing it this entire time, and we don't take it until I think April or May. Okay, so that's kind of what I do. Again, I don't write any notes down. but I know a lot of people that do, and so that may be helpful while you're going through reading your chapters, to just kind of make a bullet point note uh, of all the major points in that chapter, whatever the concept may be, and then based on that, kind of reviewing that as you're going through the Picmonics or whatever you're doing there. And then I also use the app. So whenever I have downtime and I'm not here at my computer, I can use the app to answer questions. I don't typically watch videos on the app, just because I prefer a bigger screen. But it's definitely helpful for keeping up with the daily quiz. Like if you're sitting in line somewhere at the grocery store, or if you're just hanging out waiting for somebody at lunch, or whatever the case may be. If you have downtime, it's nice to just jump on there and do a couple of quiz questions really quick. So that's my little spiel on how I use Picmonic to study. I also wanted to point out that I'm doing a collaborative giveaway with Picmonic on Instagram. So if you go ahead and follow me on Instagram, there's my username, and I believe I also have a link in my About section, and I'll put a link down below in the comment section as well. Um, the Picmonic giveaway is for a t-shirt right here. This is the oatmeal. I also have the charcoal, and I absolutely love this shirt. The material is amazing. It's super soft, super comfortable. So it's for a free t-shirt and 6-month free subscription to Picmonic. I started it on Monday, December 16th. It goes through the 21st. So if you go to my Instagram, find that post and follow the entry directions or instructions, and put yourself into the entry for a free giveaway. All right. I hope everybody has a happy holiday. I know it's a break for most people right now. Um, so I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you guys on the other side. All right. Until then, happy nursing.